Hello, everybody, and welcome to this part 50 of the Arduboy dev stream. Um, so, already 50 video, some of 1 hour, some of 2 hours. So, it means more than 50 hours of programming this game and this editor. And yeah, I think we probably will reach 100, maybe less, maybe 75, not sure. Anyway, outside of the stream, I have fixed some bugs I will quickly show you, and then we can continue or the export of the spike because I think we still didn't completely finish it. All right, so yeah, first there was a little bug about the spike which were inverse, the vertical was horizontal, and so on. So actually, it was just the flag that was not correctly set. Yeah, that was quite simple. Then we also had a problem where the item were shift of half pixels compared to the level. So just change the pixel offset mode for the item sprite. And oh yeah, the next change is maybe you have noticed when I grab an item, when I grab it, then the item was jumping, moving, which it's a little bit annoying for when you edit it for the user of the editor. So basically, when you click on the item, you don't want it to move, and then only when you move the item move. So to do that is quite simple. You just have to memorize the kind of distance where the distance between the grabbing position inside the item and the top corner, the location of the item, right? So I just had a variable, the current selected item grab delta, and basically, so this is in here in the mouse down event, I just compute the delta. That means I just get the difference between the current location of the item and the location of the mouse, and I store this yeah into this variable, and then I can just reuse this variable when I move it. So that's just the difference where you grab the part inside the part, I would say. And yeah, that makes the editing much easier. Um, then I added the rig item into the toolbox for all the sprites. So here obviously I just add the image of Rick, and here I could just make it the first one. I think it's logical to make it the first one of the toolbox. And oh yeah, and also here the pen, I just, instead of duplicating it, I just make it one time, and I change the color to yellow because just to uniformize on the level map, the selected item is yellow. So I was thinking also the selected tool in the toolbox should be yellow. That makes more sense on the user experience. All right, and then I just add an icon for the editor. So that changed a lot of resource, but it's just an icon. Basically, didn't change anything. Yeah, designer and the PNG. All right, so yeah, that's it. So let's continue the editor. And I want to say that I think we have done a refactoring that is not correct. I was right, so I think we will probably roll back some of the code. The code we change is about the ID of the item. Yes, it's more convenient, I would say, to store the ID of the item inside the item class, but this is not what we want, because again, we want to share the item in multiple screen. So, and in the editor, I want to have a different instance of the item. I don't want to share them in the editor, because when the user is moving the item, is editing the level, uh, it will add, remove, delete, etc., and or maybe take a spike and move it to the next screen. That's a lot of change, and you don't want to track that during the edition. So it's easier to have just one instance per item on inside the editor, in the editor, because we don't have a memory issue. But when we save the map, when we export the map, this is where I want to share and mutualize all this instance to have a minimum instance. So yes, the instance has to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For example, if you have 3 for each screen, and it cannot be spike 3, 4, 5, and then spike 7, 8, 9. No. So yeah, so we have to roll back a little bit of code and then implement correctly this kind of sharing mechanism. So I don't remember which commit it was. Add the unique item for, yeah, so this commit was not cool. All right, so I will just diff with the local and cherry pick what I want. Diff to local. So okay, XY doesn't change, this doesn't change, this doesn't change. No, I need to diff with the previous version. Let fire. No, sorry, it's not that I want. What it is? Diff to parent, diff to local, view item at revision. I think is no. It's not that one. I forgot where it is. Save as revision, edit local, open local, explore local, revision, file history. Yes, that's the file. That's what I'm looking for. And I want this one to diff with local. Okay, so the item. All right, so it's two. This is not what I want. I want diff to local. Finally get it. All right, this is what I want. Okay, so I don't want that. I don't want the ID. I want this. I don't want, yeah, I don't want this also. I don't want this. And this I keep. And this I want. And this this I want, and this also I want, also this, and this, okay, don't change, and okay, that's enough. And yeah, I want to save it, sorry. And then also this change, so file history, and this one div to local, and so I don't need to count the item anymore, so I don't want this, and this I can keep, and this I want it back, it's back, and the rest is probably doesn't change, and this I don't need it anymore also. Okay, all right, so it probably doesn't compile, but we will fix the rest. So let's go back to Visual Studio. Yeah, so yeah, we need also the instance number for that. And this. And okay, so I think it doesn't compile. All right, and then we are back to where I was, which means I need to provide item number, instance number, sorry, yeah, here and there. All right, so for that we have to count the item per type, so we should have a item counter per type, but there is some type that share the same item, like the spike. So first I was thinking of just having an array of int and using the enum for the type to increase it. But because the spike share the same item number, that's yeah, that's a we just can just have a if. Okay, so declare an array to count the items per type for the current screen. So item count so we should get enum. I will add a count the type count at the end. So it's items, item type count. All right, so then so we still iterate on the item on screen, but then here in the loop we will just increase the counter. So item count the item get type item type. Actually, I will go through variable. So we increase it, and so yeah, increase the instance counter, and then we can give it as a parameter here. So that's for writing the add. So normally after that I should also reset all the value and do the same here, or I can just add in the manager and then in the same for loop call the init function. It's just that it will the exported function, the exported file will be just a bit different. Okay, so I guess I can just reset the item count array. Can is there any clear? No, I guess not an array, so maybe set I'm kind of lazy, so I can do a mem set. Well, let's do a for each loop. I'm not sure. No. Let me search quickly on the internet what is the fastest way to maybe array something, array clear, yeah. The array index length 0 and length. Okay. Okay, so clear the array, and then we can do the same here. And I will actually call the write function. I will actually create a function for that. increase item counter. So I take a reference for that, and I will take this here. Item count. Yes, but I don't know the. I will return it. Increase item counter and increase item counter and get count, get number, get ID. Okay, I will return this. So of course I need to pass the item. Okay. Okay, so we stay on one line. I need to give the item. Okay. Same here. Okay, so why I'm doing this is because we can have a special case here, like if item type equal so which one is first, horizontal or vertical? Vertical. Then we can switch it to horizontal. That means in that way, so a special case for the spike, they use both horizontal and vertical use the same instance. Okay, doesn't like this. Oh yeah, need this. Increase the counter. And this is equal. So I will count the same. I will count the vertical and horizontal inside the horizontal one. Okay. So does it compile now? Yes, it compile. Okay. But before testing, I want to do more. So finally why we do that is also because I would like to test to have a spike on the two screen and see that if the instance of the spike are correctly reused. So to do that, we also need to, let me see, we have the function that return all the item on one screen. Yeah, maybe it works. But the function that write all the instance, yeah. This one, actually what we need to do is we need to have a function that count all the spike instance. What is the maximum spike that you can have in one screen, basically? So we go through all the screen and we count how many spike, maybe 2 in that screen, 4 in that one, 5 in that one. Okay, if we have 5, if 5 is maximum, then we need to declare 5 instance. And right now, the spike item list takes all of them, which is not what we want to do. So basically this function has to be improved to count the maximum and then write that amount of instance. But yeah, we can try to test right now. And let's put some spike, so here and here. Okay, that's 2, and maybe you can put 1 here and another here. Okay, so there is some other stuff that we need to change, but we'll see. So let's save it and let's see what we have. I think let me check what I have saved. Okay, I saved the map data. So this one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spike. Like I said, they take all of them. But here we just have spike 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is this is what we want. We want to reuse 1, 2, 1, 2. But now we should not just write all the instance. All right, so and there is another thing I want to probably to change, but I want to change it in the game code also. Is this this flag, because basically the spike are just using this flag. If I don't make mistake, but we can look at the code. The spikes are just using this flag for the rendering purpose. But all the spike are the same class, the same logic. So the thing is, if you have let's say a vertical spike in the first screen and then a horizontal one in the second screen, then in that case I will declare 2 different instances just because the flag are set in the constructor of this instance, whereas I could just have 1 instance of the spike for screen 1 and screen 2, the same instance of spike, but in the init function I give the flag, and then the spike change just change set the flag in the init function, then I can reuse the instance. So I think that's more optimized like that, and I guess that will be probably the same for many other items, like the enemies, which used flags also to have different behavior. So yeah, there's no, it's not very optimal. What I'm saying is probably not optimal to set the flag in the constructor if we want to reuse the instance. It's probably better to set it in the init function. So let's change that in the game, and then we can probably change the editor. So if we look at the spike, okay, we have a flag here, and basically in the update, we just depending on the flag, we just drew it differently. But the init function, I think, belongs to what? To item. So if we change the init function to take the flag, then we should change it for all of them. But again, I think it's pretty okay. Let's look at the init. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is we should move that code from here to here. And let's go through all the items. I don't think that changed a lot, because I'm not sure we are doing stuff in the constructor. So for the spike, yeah, it's okay. For dynamite, it's kind of okay. We don't do something in the constructor. For the bullet, same. For the arrow launcher, so the flag, we don't detection with maybe is probably the same logic also. This is probably something that has to move in the init, but we will see when we'll edit and start to edit our launcher. Enemy, like I said, so you have the flag in the constructor, and yeah, trap trigger, but not the scorpion. This is just clearing that can be done also on the init function. Stalactite, yeah. Pickup, I think that's pretty the same. Yeah. And what else? That's it. We have done all the items. So yeah, I think we have to do that to really reuse the items. So let's modify the code. So I move the flag from the constructor to the init function, and in the CPP, set the flag here. So I guess the constructor, we don't need to write it. It's empty now. And then we have to change all the derivated class. So remove that. So we also don't need that. For dynamite, constructor already doesn't take the flag. So it's empty. I can delete it. For the arrow billet, none, and another constructor. Okay, if this one so if this one is an arrow, then we property flags pushon. So let's just write it like this. So if it's an arrow, we set the special property flag. Otherwise, we don't set anything. And this one, default one, we can delete it. Oh no, we need to keep it because we have another constructor. Okay, and our launcher. So I can remove that flag. We'll move the detection width maybe later. On the enemy. So so we can set this property. Or maybe yeah. Okay. Then remove the flag for the enemy. Stalactite. We also need to set alive. We can probably we will refactor it later, like in the init function we can I mean, the exporter can give the alive flag in the init function. That's but this is another refactoring. This will touch maybe another idea. I have to try to reuse the item instance that can die also. So we'll do that later. So for now, just keep it like this to make it to keep the game working. Can remove this. So remove this. Okay, stalactite, and then about the item, pick up item. Also need to set the property flag alive. So I may have break something, but we'll see later. I think that's easy to fix. So nothing on the CPP, and I guess, yeah, nothing. Can just also probably delete this. They are useless. All right, so let's try if that compile. Not sure we break something. No, we forgot something. Yeah, maybe the map data. Yeah, let's fix the map data manually, and then we'll change the exporter. Oh, I forgot the destroyable. Sorry. Destroyable. Move the flag. So, okay, destroyable also can be deleted. Destroyable block. Flag. Okay, so this I need the set property. And block fragment. No flag, okay. And stalagmite, and should be alive. But I think it's calling the parent constructor, destroy by item, which already set the, oh no, I don't set the alive. Okay, never mind. We can refactor this a little later, like I said, when we will work on the reusing the instance for the item that can die. All right, let's fix the map data. So So I can just do this. Let's try to compile. Okay, so init screen 0. Yeah, I need to give my flag now to let's give the same flag to all of them for now. All right, so how about that? Cannot convert spike to item for argument 1. Spike 1. Spike. Okay. Stalagmite. In file. Stalagmite CPP. Stalagmite. Yeah. The flag should be disappear here. All right, that compile. So I'm a little bit confused. About if I write this, which should be the same actually. If it compiles, no, it doesn't compile. Strange. Okay. So we also have to change our editor for that. All right, so now I can reuse the same spike no matter what and change the flag here. So I only have 2 instances. All right, so but we can test it maybe. Let's test it. Oh, I die immediately on the spike. Yeah, so I cannot test and go in the second screen. Let's change the position of 84 of well, let's spawn myself a bit further, like 30. And then we have our 2 spikes here. Okay, that's cool. So let's go back to the editor and change what we have to change. So the instance, yeah, we can commit because that's a lot of change in the game. So we'll commit that and then maybe I will change this. So it's in the init, yeah, we can change that and then commit. So in the init function, write init position. Then we can have a switch case. So I do nothing if it's rig, so I can just ignore it. Otherwise, I do something like this. I will just move this after X and Y. And here and here. So here I take this as flag, and here this is none. Okay, and in the instance I just need the semicolon. All right, so let's try this, and we'll try to save it to see what we have. We lost our instance. We lost our instance. Why? Strange. Ah, yeah, I didn't place the. This is normal. I didn't place the spike. Let's place the spike. One here. And one here. And another one mirror on the other screen, and maybe this one like this. And let's save it and see. Let's see. Okay, we have a 4 spike, still 4 spike, but we use spike 1, 2, 1, 2, special non-mirror, none. Okay. And let's compile and run the game. To see if we have a spike in the correct direction. Yeah, it's this one, and if I go down, it should be reversed. Oh, where are my spike? Because I need to relaunch. I went to the other screen. So the checkpoint system is broken. So I go this way. And yeah, this is what we had. Okay, so that works. All right, so we can commit that, and then we improve the level with the level editor. Here, so yeah, that's a lot of change, a lot of files. So property flag, property flag. I think I can just look here. this one is what? Yeah. It's probably the map data that I will not commit again. Yeah, maybe I need to commit because otherwise it doesn't compile. That's fine. So this. Yeah, the init function now set the flag. So yeah, we can say bye-bye to our walking level, and I will commit this new level now. Anyway, we have to say bye-bye because it's full of enum that I cannot read, so and that's for the editor. So we revert the okay, so let's start to write. Move the property flag init in the move the property flag initialization in the init function of the item to increase the reusability of item instance. And in the revert the ID of the item in the editor. Data member in the editor to parameter of the function. So yeah, we remove our item counter also, and we have this function now to generate this this ID, and remove that. Okay. Okay, let's commit this. All right, so let's continue. So I was saying we should not write all the instance that is on the level, but only a certain number which depends on the maximum of item of that type that we can have on one single puzzle screen. So we need a function that will do that, that will compute that. And then I guess we can, not looking at the correct file, and it's the right instance here. So basically I can iterate on all the type and then ask the count, and then just write boom boom boom. So if there's 3, write 3 instance. That becomes much more simple. And yeah, so for each I think we can iterate on enum item type items item type in can I do this? No? Oh, I don't know how to iterate on enum. I don't do that very often in C#. Never mind, I will iterate on the count. Let's be lazy. Oh. Okay. So I guess I will need a function like get max max count. Get max item count, and I give I for the type, and then I iterate on it. J so we can start from 1. I guess the item number start from 1. 1 yeah, instance controller start from 1 here. Where G is less or equal than this one, max item count. Then we can write this, and so this is just for writing the instance. So I can just give the type, which is I, and I will cast it to the type, because I guess I will need the type over there. All right, so we don't need that anymore, but we will need that function to compute the max number of item of in one single screen. And int I we'll implement it later. So this I is what is the type actually. So I guess I want the type. Well, sure, I wanted to iterate on the type anyway. Item type. I don't know syntax to iterate on an enum, the value of an enum. All this cast makes no sense. All right, so let's change this write item list. So actually we don't need this, we just need the type. And I believe that this function becomes so simple that it can be merged, I think. Because actually what we want is this. we don't have an instance of the item, but okay, it can be a can make a static function. And J become our instance counter. Yeah, so so let's go to item and the right instance, and yeah, we need the type also. We need the type and the instance counter. So basically that's the same code here. Even if it's mirror, everything is the same. No, that's not what I want to do. And so we want the type, and we will use the type here, and this becomes static. Okay, public static right instance, the type get instance name. This then I need to give the type also in that function, but that's fine. Because I can, okay, so that one is the static one, and then I can just also write the normal one. That call the static one with my type. Okay, so and the instance number, of course. So my type instance number, and yeah, this one get the type because static one, and yeah, that's pretty simple. So this one should call the static one. Yeah, so that's the type, that's the instance name. Okay. All right, so here it's okay. Now, how about here? We need to implement that function to count per type. All right, so we also can have a special case for the vertical spike. So we can skip them. Presque fini. Skip the vertical spike because they are a merge with the horizontal ones. Get the number of instance that we need, the max. All right, so we can yeah, we can have a max value, max count that we initialize with 0. That's probably what we will return. And then we have to iterate on. So the items are sorted by type already. So item type. So we can iterate on this for each item. Item in this list. So iterate on the list of all the item of the specified type, and I guess we already have a function in the item to tell if you are in one screen. We already wrote that function is in puzzle screen. Yep. So we can just reuse that if item is in puzzle screen. And then that means we have to iterate on all the screens. So there is a double iteration. We can iterate on all screen, then iterate on all the item, or we can iterate on all the item, or if we want, we can use intermediate data. For example, if we store what? If we iterate on all the screen, no, it's better to iterate on all the item probably, but maybe can give me a puzzle screen ID. Yeah, then I can save that into an array of per puzzle screen, then I iterate on all the puzzle screen counts. All right, so let's change that to an array of so it's the max count per screen, and the size will be level width divided by puzzle screen times yeah, how many screens can we have actually? So it's 16 by 32. 512 screen. Okay. Oh, we have that many screens. I was surprised. All right. So let's do that. Actually, I can use those variable here. Just in case we change the screen size one day. All right, so then I can ask the screen ID to the item. Get puzzle screen ID. Actually, I can just increase it like this. So I iterate on all the item, then I increase the I ask the item in which puzzle screen ID is, then I increase the count on this screen, and then I iterate on the max count to find the highest. Maybe there is already a function that does that. Not sure. No, maybe not. Let's try. Binary search. Find last. Find index. Sort. Whatever. Let's do it. Int count in max count per screen. So int max count will start with 0. If max count is less than the count, then max count is the count, and then we return the max found. All right, so we just need to write this function now. Int so we can iterate on X. We can count the puzzle screen horizontally first and then vertically, so it will be my divided by yeah, actually these variables are private, and I already asked X and Y. I will put this function in the map. Map data. Let's write it here for now. Get puzzle screen ID from game world card. So I was saying y divided by puzzle screen height this is 8. Oh no, it's world coordinate times wall sprite. So yeah, divide this plus x plus x that we also divide by the same thing, I think. And this we need to multiply by the number of puzzle screen. As this one, puzzle screen. Nope, that's the width. It's the number of puzzle screen, but yeah, it's this one, which is also 16. So y divided by the size of one screen, the size in pixel of one screen, which is the number of sprite multiplied by the sprite width. That's multiplied by the number of screen horizontally plus same for the x. Okay, I think that's the correct function. So item x and item y. All right, so let's try. That's a very complex function for, hopefully it's working, for backing merging all these instances together. So I will place let's say three spike here. Oh, I forgot something. We forgot to merge the two. Also need to count with the other type of spike. So special case for vertical spike, count them with the horizontal one. If item type is the horizontal type, then we just increase this one for the vertical. Okay, so let's try again. So I guess now you see why an editor could be useful. If you look at all this code, this special case, this just for optimizing, but if we write the code for that, then hopefully we are free to do any kind of level after that, and we don't have to think about merging and packaging all this instance. I will put 3 and 2. So normally we should have 3 instances. Let's see. We only have the spike 1 and spike 3. But here we have spike 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3, which is good. But why we only have 2? 2 instances. What happened? So I have the horizontal one, vertical I don't care. I have the horizontal one, I get the max count for the horizontal one. How is it possible? Type count. Type count. How is it possible? Let's step inside. So I0, let's step inside. Oh, that's Rick. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess you found just one. Yep. So then yeah, that does not, this function does nothing. Okay, the next one. Okay, 2, and now we will also count the vertical spike. But yes, we put it inside yeah, we put it inside the screen. So what do we have? 3. This is what I want. So max count is 3, 1, J, 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 1, J. No matter if it's horizontal or vertical. Instance number 1 here also. Oh, here, bug is here. I don't need that. All right, so let's run it again. And okay, so I said I want 1 and another spike here and 1 here. Let's mirror it, and another like this. And because I want to test the level, let's move this one here. Okay, so let's save, move the breakpoint, and let's check. And now we have our 3 spike, and 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3. All right, let's test the level. So this is like this, and this one, these two here. Okay, let's test the level. Let's fix my camera. Okay, we have our 2 spike. I'm not sure if I can jump here. Okay, yeah. And here we have our 3 spikes. All right, I think that works. That will be it for this stream. Let's commit this and wrapping up. So we have change, yeah, I can commit this also. Doesn't matter, I leave it. So, yeah, so we have refactor the right instance function in the item. And in the map data, we have the function to count the number of item of the same type in one screen, and then write all these instance. Right. Okay. So on the max number of items of the same type in one puzzle screen. Refactor the right of the instance to only instantiate that max number. All right. All right. So thanks for watching. I'm happy to have refactored this. I think that's a step closer to what it should do. The next step is probably to extend this to the item that can die, or maybe next step would be to reload this. But since I'm not sure how to handle the item that can die, maybe we should do that first, because that may impact the way it's written in the map data CPP file. Ultimately, I also want to reuse as much as possible the instance of the enemies, for example, but I want to keep their dead status, their alive status, if you move in between screens. So yeah, and then there will be the reload of the map. That could be easy. I can just ignore, we will probably just ignore the instance declaration, and we can just go to the init function. And that becomes now more easy because we moved the flags, the property flags, to the init function. So when I see a spike init, and then I can pass all the parameters, I know the position, but I also know the type. So I know if it's a horizontal or the vertical spike. Before, I had to first pass the constructor to know the type, and then pass the init function to know where to place it. So yeah, it will simplify also the read of the map, this kind of refactoring. Yeah, I think that was really necessary what we have done today. And yeah, so we have to do that for the killable, dieable items, and then probably read. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. And as usual, if you have question, if there's something you don't understand, you want to question anyway, anything, just ask in the comment below the video. And I see you in the next video. Bye bye.